Hiya, so we've got a brand new shoe. Well, it's not really new to us, as you can see. It's very quite well used. It is the new Scott Ultra Carbon RC shoe. We've been really lucky, or I've been really lucky to be able to get a pair and test them for the last couple of months. These are my shoes that you can see here, and you can see they've been well used. They've done around about the 200 and 250 mile mark. Now we were doing this in the end of October, so by the time you actually see this, they'll probably be worn out more on the 400 mark when they actually get released to general public. But this is a new thing for Scott, really. It's taking some of the learnings from the Speed Carbon RC shoe and put them into a trail shoe, and then just kind of trying to adapt it to work with the carbon. So it uses a carbon plate that's forked, so the carbon moves independently rather than a road shoe that's very structured. They've kept some of the learnings from their trail range already, which is obviously very good. But also it's been tweaked with help from some of their pro runners to get that feel right. It's not quite as lugged as you would see from the sort of like Supertrack and things like that, but it's got directional tread. It's got very strong on their tread patterns, and they work very hard. I've got to say, it works very well. We've been using it on the dry trails recently, and then we've just had some real sort of deluge, and it's changed the trails completely. A lot wet, a lot slippy, and 99% of the time it's been really good. There's a couple of really muddy, boggy sections that I've been through that they start to struggle in, but for majority of the trails it works incredibly well. Fit wise, nice and wide as you'd expect from Scott. They are quite forgiving on the size. I wear a 9.5 generally. In Hokas and others I have to go up to a 10. With Scott I stay at a 9.5, and it fits really good. What can I say about the shoe? With the carbon, it does feel faster when you run faster, there is no doubt about that, but it's not really super firm like you'd expect a carbon road shoe to be. There's quite a bit of cushioning, there's quite a bit of forgiveness in it. Certainly no problems running longer distances. I think the longest at the moment I've done in it is probably about a 2.5 hour run. And no issues there whatsoever. It was really good. If I was going to have one tiny little gripe about it, I like my shoes really tight, as you can see, lock laced in, and when you do tighten up really quite firm, the tongue is quite thin, and the top lace does have a tendency to cut into the tongue a little bit, and then feels quite sharp onto the skin. So I personally would perhaps like to see a little bit more padding on the tongue, but I understand why they haven't gone down that route. Other than that, I absolutely love it. Perfect really shoe for those longer, maybe faster runs. Around here we have a run called the Trig Race. It's a 16-18 mile race, mainly hard stone tracks, some good hills, some good descents. That happens in January, and I'm absolutely looking forward to running in these come that race, because it's got the speed, but it's also got the comfort, and it's also got the cushioning, and I think it's going to be an absolute fantastic shoe for Scott. Look out for it.